Did Allentown police officers break the law while wearing a badge? A whistleblower lawsuit now headed to federal court says yes.
The city says that lawsuit was without merit. The chief of police says some of the allegations were investigated. 69 News Special Projects Unit wanted to know more, so reporter Jaccii Farris dug deeper, and tonight we begin a three-part series called Crossing the Thin Blue Line.
It sounds like something out of a movie. Police officers allegedly stealing drug money, having sex with prostitutes, and being protected by a culture of secrecy. In a 46-page whistleblower lawsuit, veteran officers Chip Howells and Randy Fay say it happened at the Allentown Police Department. The city says the suit has no merit. Chief Charles Roca says many of the claims have been investigated and the whistleblowers won't talk about it publicly. But 69 News wanted to know more, so we investigated the lawsuit, speaking to nearly a dozen current and former APD officers. Two of them agreed to go on camera with their identities obscured. This is Ed Smith. It's not his real name.
Steven Spielberg couldn't make up some of these things because it's unfathomable.
We have a lot of good cops. It's more good than we do bad.
We also talked to an officer we're calling John Doe.
So when you say not so good cops, you're talking about dirty cops.
Yes, dirty cops.
Both officers say the allegations in the lawsuit are common knowledge among the APD ranks, but that the lawsuit doesn't tell the whole story. Doe told us about an incident that's not in the lawsuit, about a former member of the Vice Squad still employed by APD. He says it happened in 2008 when he was meeting that officer at a cemetery. He says when he got there, he saw the officer's unmarked car.
I walk up to the car, the driver's side of the car, and her head was in his lap.
Doe says he stepped away before he was seen.
And then she gets out, he gets out, hey, she's getting arrested, the deal's done. And her demeanor just tells me, yep, it is what you saw.
We tracked down the woman who was in the car. She agreed to be interviewed on the phone. We're calling her RC. She says back then she was addicted to drugs, and on that day, she was walking down the street when she was picked up by the officer in question.
And when he went to the cemetery, he told me what to do. And, I was like scared, and I'm like, I really wanted to get out, just start running.
RC said she did what she was told and was shocked when she got arrested. She says she didn't tell anyone because she was afraid.
I'm like, this could get me killed. And then they could say something crazy like it was a serial killer or some guy who came through and picked me up and dumped me somewhere.
But RC isn't the only woman alleging she was victimized by an APD vice officer.
I'm getting a little emotional because I haven't really spoken about it since then.
This is NH. She's asked that we hide her identity. NH says in 2011, she was walking alone when a man pulled up and asked her to get in. At the time, she was an addict. She says she made a deal with the driver for sex, and that's when she found out he was an Allentown police vice officer.
One thing led to another, and we went back and forth oh, well, maybe you can do something for me so I don't have to take you to jail.
NH says she ended up trading a sex act for her freedom.
He did what he did. He definitely wanted to hide it. I think if he had any inkling I was going to say something, it probably would have been worse.
What we're talking about here is literally the plague of this department.
Doe and Smith say the impact of that plague extends far beyond alleged sex crimes. We'll have that in part 2 of our investigation. Jaccii Farris, 69 News.
No one has been charged in connection with the allegations mentioned in this report. The whistleblower lawsuit was withdrawn from the Court of Common Pleas and is now headed to federal court.
We did invite Allentown Mayor Matt Turk and Chief Charles Roca to share their reaction to our investigation. Roca told us he can't comment on any pending litigation.
Mayor Turk issued a statement saying crime is down to historically low levels in Allentown, thanks to the leadership of Chief Roca and the hard work of the men and women of the Allentown Police Department. For their efforts in reducing crime, they deservedly receive some of the highest salaries and benefits among local law enforcement professionals.
It goes on to say, I fully support Chief Roca in our joint effort to create an environment of excellence, respect, and care at the city of Allentown. And I personally stand ready to work with our police to ensure continued progress.
We will have part 2 of Crossing the Thin Blue Line tomorrow at 5 and then again at 10 p.m.